Hey everyone, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, subscribe, and most importantly, buckle up because this is your route to reality. Now let's get into this video. Today I want to talk about something a lot of people don't think about when they're looking for work. Amazon. Now, Amazon might look like an attractive employer at first glance. They're one of the biggest companies in the world, and they're always hiring. And the pay can look decent compared to some other minimum wage jobs. But here's the truth. Working for Amazon often comes at a much higher cost than you realize. Let's break down why. Working conditions. Now, Amazon warehouses are notorious for their punishing pace. Workers are expected to meet strict quotas, scanning and moving hundreds of items per hour. Every second is tracked, and if you fall behind, you risk warnings or termination. People who've worked there describe feeling like they've been treated more like robots than humans. And in some warehouses, bathroom breaks are so limited that workers have admitted to skipping them just to keep up with the demand. That level of pressure creates a stressful, dehumanizing environment. And if you don't believe me, then I got a TikTok to show you right now so we can roll that footage. Alright guys, let's roll this footage. Let the viewers see this. So now you guys see the proof in 4K as this girl basically covers everything about the warehouse being fast-paced. Now some of you will ask, hey Rao, did you work at the Amazon warehouse at one point? Not specifically, but I was a part of the delivery service program as a driver for Amazon. The DSP program basically means working for a business that was formally recognized as an independent contractor from Amazon. To my surprise, this meant that we didn't work for the Amazon, but we were expected to be in full uniform whenever we were delivering to the buildings, as if every delivery driver is United or some bullshit like that. You see this guy right here from earlier wearing the polo shirt with the vest? Yeah, he got the full uniform on taking this picture. I would never wear that polo shirt, just only the vest. Fuck that shit. Because the vest is the only thing you need to wear so you can have the receptionist or a customer identify you. Nothing too additional. Working conditions for the DSP was basically the same thing. They gave you 10-hour shifts, but you don't have 10 hours to complete and deliver the packages because you got to load up your van for the first 15 minutes. Then you head out to whatever route you got. Then you got to be back at the station by a certain time, further limiting the ability to go at your own pace. And if you're behind, dispatcher from your DSP will send one of your coworkers to relieve some of your packages, also known as a rescue. My dispatcher used to be violating my shit, sending rescues the first hour I'm behind. I'm like, damn! You see my first stop is at the doorman building, yet you want to send somebody else to relieve some of my packages. Like, relax, bro. I'm not gonna fuck up this shit, you feel me? Relax, buddy. When I started off in the summer, I used to get annoyed at first because I wanted to get a steady rhythm. But as it got colder here in New York City, I then realized the amount of packages I would have to load up and then looking at the stops after would fry me. I'm not gonna lie, it fried me. There would be days where it would be cold and windy, a terrible combo. That's nasty work. And then I would be mad when I have addresses for the same apartment buildings split up in different stops. So much for AI for making these routes, because there's no way a human is messing up on not grouping these addresses for one stop. And then when you deliver these packages, you have the customers put in the delivery notes to drop off the packages at the door on the 5th or 6th floor. And I'm not gonna lie, when I wanted to go home early, I would drop them shits off right in the package lobby. And I kept doing it up until I received a tier 2 infraction from my DSP, which put me out of work for a whole week. And it was mainly due to customers complaining about their packages getting stolen. It's not my fault. You should have ordered to a locker. You know the shitey stuff be happening in New York City. Then the lockers will be so full, so I'll have to return them or drop them off in the lobby depending on where the locker was stationed. Plus, it was hard to double park for most of the time, so I had to dump them in the lobby regardless. Because you have a lot on your plate besides from double parking, you have to log into their Mentor app, which monitors your driving. And it's also a metric to cover Amazon's ass for anything that happens on the road. But you're mainly going to be hopping out the van, delivering, then you're going to start up your van, drive down the next block, and then do the same cycle again. And the key thing I forgot to mention is at the beginning of your shift, the DSP assigns you with an Android Motorola phone to scan packages, also known as a Rabbit phone. You also have to log into the Amazon Flex app using your DSP email and password. And just know that the Rabbit is going to dial you within the first 3 hours into your shift if you don't request a portable from your DSP. It happened to me plenty of times, and I ended up having to use my iPhone for some cases, which the app operates worse on iOS, and that's just the technical side of things. We're going to talk next about the physical strain. Working at Amazon is not just mentally exhausting, it's physically punishing. The job involves constant standing, lifting, and repetitive motions for long shifts. Some would argue that you're getting your exercise and staying fit, but there's no balance or relaxation really, because you don't have time to waste like that. I know for my situation, I had to load my van for 15 minutes at the station and grab like 5 to 6 carts worth of bags with oversized packages. Those 15 minutes run quick Once you have to figure out where you need to find all the space to put those oversized packages in the prime van. And when you arrive at your route, it's frustrating to find that one bag because you already have your van organized by rushing your way through to load it up quickly. With that being said, you're always on the go when you start, so you kind of have to hurry it through. You would have your 30-minute lunch and two 10-minute breaks, I believe. And I'd spread the 10-minute breaks after completing a few stops, but the amount of stops and packages would cook me to the point where I would go beyond that 10-minute break and say, fuck it. I'm going to milk the clock when I clock back from lunch. But it all adds up to being rescued again. One thing I forgot to mention about the rescuing is that the people that do it are either extras or they finished early. You should never want to be the guy to finish early because you get paid the same if dispatch tells you to rescue. I remember finishing early one time and dispatch sent me to rescue someone in another area. And I'm like, nah, never again, because I didn't see no pay raise or pay differential. But anyways, let's not get too off topic. If you're ever delivering heavy packages to those buildings, take your time, because if you try and bring it in quick, you're going to hurt yourself. I almost caught myself getting injured a few times lifting those heavy packages to these buildings because I wasn't watching my step, just watching the time instead. Ah, man. I just couldn't believe I was sleeping for that blasted company. Oh, Amazon. Amazon. Whew, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, let's finish the point, right? Reports of injuries are alarmingly common, from back problems to repetitive stress injuries. In fact, Amazon have fabricated their injury rates for the warehouses, so it wouldn't even look bad, to even which the U.S. Senate did their investigation on the injury reports of this matter. Imagine what the injury rates may look like for the DSP program. It serves zero workers' compensation, and the health benefits are trash. So at the end of the day, when you're getting treated like a machine, your body ends up paying the price. I think we have pretty much covered everything here. So let's go on to the next point. Job security. There's absolutely no job security in Amazon, especially with the DSP bullshit. They love to promote the idea that they're a great place to start your career, but the reality is, it's very different. It's a fucking dead-end job. The company is infamous for high turnover. Many workers and partners don't last more than a year, and that's not by accident. Amazon has been reported to deliberately cycle through employees quickly to avoid raises and long-term benefits. So even if you want to stick around, chances are Amazon, they won't let you. At least that's what happened with my case after getting several route deductions after not exceeding the DSP's expectations. And after my little violation, I was getting shifts taken away without notice. It would fry me all the way because I'll be making $22 an hour for 2 to 3 days, making $400 to $500 weekly, which doesn't cover enough bills here in New York City. And honestly, if you're doing Amazon in my city, go get yourself a city job. At least that's the thing I did, and I made a good choice, but still, I'm trying to really upgrade to the next level. So yeah, if you're ever finding out that you have your shifts reduced, you should question your DSP on that. And remember that representing Amazon is far from stability, and you should never work for a company that will let you go the minute you fail to deliver these packages on time. And I also forgot to mention that the bathroom breaks for the drivers is far more brutal, as drivers pee in bottles, or even worse, inside the vans or the totes. It's kind of disgusting to hear that. But that's the harsh reality of working as a driver for your DSP. Not for Amazon, remember that. And let's not forget the DSP scheme that hides the instability of the jobs, as there's no official union for the drivers. Yeah, you may hear they got the Teamsters union, but you don't see them at these facilities getting engaged to changing some of the circumstances. So without them fully involved, it's pointless to even bank on having job security there. And before I finish the video, I would like to say that if possible, have a lot of money saved to go into a trade and get your CDLs. Do an online course that gets you instant experience so you don't have to waste 4 years of your life in a college. Because working for minimum wage jobs that don't have your best interests at heart isn't the way to go. And that's your route to reality. If you found this video helpful about never working for Amazon, then please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment about your bad experiences with that blasting mother flipping company. I can't use no more swear words. I'm so sorry, but please just put it in the comment section. Thanks for watching and stay sharp. Finally, we just got that nightmare out the way. Oh wait, it's not over. No.